everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. For those of you who are new here, hi, welcome. I have been gone quite a long time. I think my last video upload was like 4 months ago, which is funny because I have a 4-month-old now, which you will see her when I'm doing the tutorial because she did wake up in the middle of her nap. So you get to meet my newest addition. So if you want to see her, and just keep watching, or if you want to know more about this palette, I bought my first full Nomad Cosmetics palette. I have been eyeing so many of their palettes. I've wanted to buy so many of their palettes, but this one I feel like was the one that I had to say yes to because the shimmers in this look absolutely stunning and some of them looked very unique compared to what I have in my collection. So I was like, this is probably the best one for me to try. I have tried Nomad Cosmetics one other time and it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's been a while, but I bought, it was like a Studio 25, is that what it was called? It was like a 4-pan palette of just duochromes and they were very beautiful. I've never tried any of their mattes. So this palette is called Monteverde Cloud Forest Palette. It has 6 luminescent shimmers and also 12 matte. And it retails for $44, or you can buy the shadows singly for $5 each. Shipping was pretty fast. It got here pretty quick. I will say the packaging is nice because it is nice and sturdy. Everything came intact. You have a mirror, which I always appreciate a mirror. And here are the shades. You have so many vibrant colors. These mattes, when I did swatches, built up perfectly fine. There was no patchiness. They were soft, they were smooth. And the shimmers, some of them are a little bit more like toppers and some of them do actually hold their own and have a good base pigment. But all in all, very happy. Honestly, this shade is the one that piqued my interest right here. It is like this greeny pink shade and I don't have any duochromes in my collection like that at all. And then just some of these other greens I just was really interested in. I almost just bought some singles, but then they ended up, like, I wanted so many singles that it just came to be more than just buying the palette. So I was like, well, I might as well just buy the palette and then review the palette for you guys. That makes sense to me. So give me something to review for you guys. So let me show you the swatches. Swatches were done outside on bare skin, no primer. They are finger swatches. I did build up the mattes probably about 2 times. It wasn't anything crazy. They were very pigmented to begin with. I didn't have to do much. The same with the shimmers, except like I said, I think 2 of them are a little bit more toppery-esque, like the purple blue one I think is, and then one of the green ones a little bit more, maybe 2 of the green ones, but there are a couple green ones that have actual like some pigment on their own. All in all, I was very impressed with the swatches. Very beautiful, different type of color story, not for everybody, but I personally do love it. I think it's very beautiful. So there are the swatches. Let me know what you guys think of those down below, and let's go ahead and get into this demo. I feel pretty nervous, not gonna lie. It's been a really long time since I've done this, like 4 months, but it feels even longer. Let's jump into it. I've already primed my eyes with the OG Painterly by MAC. I know there's tons of better options at this point. I had just found it recently again and I was like, let's just use it. So that is what is already on my eyes as a base. Today, I think we are going to start off with the grungy. I'm going to try to go for more of a wearable type look today just because we do have some errands to run. But I do want to do a 2 looks 1 palette with more fun colors one day, probably sometime this week. So we're going to start off with this color. It's the most murky brownish green color. I love the imprint of the monkeys. They're so cute. I love all the imprints. But this one is called Two-Toed Sloth. Okay, we're going to use Sloth. I have a feeling this would be super pigmented because all of them were really pigmented when I was swatching them. I was not wrong. I'm going to blend her out, see how well she blends. She builds up nicely. Let's see how well she blends. So far, I think pretty good. The reason why I'm blending this out so much is because I don't feel like there's really a shade without going super bright or crazy color to kind of use with this type of shade if you did want to do more of a naturally neutral type of look, which I don't think this palette is necessarily for that anyways. If you did want to use that palette for this, I do feel like you kind of just have to keep blending this color out or take a shade from another palette that's more a neutrally type of shade. So today, like I said, I do want to see how wearable we can get this to be, but wearable with a little bit of a punch. That's kind of my favorite type to do. I like to do wearable, but a little bit different. So I feel like the shimmers in this definitely are different and pretty. Kind of wondering if I add just a tiny bit of that yellow to it, if it would help kind of add an extra blending type of shade. Should we try it? Let's try it. We're going to go into Toucan, which is the bright yellow. We're just going to take the tiniest bit just to kind of help blend. So if you take a tiny bit and blend it into that shade, it does help, and it's not too bright in your face. Super murky. I like it. We're going to go into this dark green called Glass Wings. It has beautiful butterfly prints in it. I love it. We're going to take that under the lid. I can't wait to delve into this purple though. That purple is beautiful. I'm probably going to do that. Use that in like a 2 looks 1 palette type of thing. This green is more of like a very just deep foresty type of green. So it's a little less grungy. Super pretty. If you're wondering why my eyes are so red, I am getting 1 to 3 hours of sleep still. Wow, it's great. So I did not put on my foundation, if you can't tell, just so that if we do have like a lot of fallout, we don't really have to worry about it. I'm going to take Green Mountain right here and just add some to the lower lash line. I'm going to put it wet. My little girl's waking up. Garcia's the newest addition. 4 months old. Still not sleeping through the night. Are you sleeping through the night? No. How long do you sleep? She looks at my palettes, even though she doesn't even know them yet. How old are you? And you're still not sleeping? You're so cute. You're just the cutest little baby girl ever. Anyways, this is Tegan. She was born in April, and that is a part of the reason why I haven't been uploading as much. She's a good girl. She just doesn't leave. And, you know, must be held all the time, like all babies do. I put the babe back to bed, and so let's continue on. I ended up going a little more in with Two-Toed Sloth, that grungy green on the inner and outer, but I feel like it builds when you want it to. It blends the way you want it to. It just worked just fine. I didn't do a very good job building it up and blending it right there, so might have to just fix that. But I think that's more me, not the shadow. So they're not too powdery either. I've never tried Nomads. I've never tried Nomad's formula as their mattes. I've never tried their mattes, and I am very impressed. So we are gonna go ahead and go into our NYX glitter glue for the shimmer portion on the lid. This will just help it pop more and adhere more. Don't really know which colors I want to use because there's so many beautiful greens. Like a lot of the shimmers are greens, and I kind of like did like a small swatch of them on my hand to kind of decide. It's so hard to decide because there's a few that are kind of grungy, and then like the Hanging Bridges, which is this green to pink, is like the one that I've been like, I was so excited for. So let's go ahead and try that one first. I thought it was unique to my personal collection, so we're gonna go into that one. It's kind of like this mossy green, and then it has reflex of pink, so we'll see how good you can see those reflects of pink on the eye. So excited. Oh yeah, that shines through. I feel like it's a good amount. Sometimes when you have like a duochrome, I feel like the shift almost takes over the base color, and sometimes I don't like that because I'll go into it thinking I'm about to get a green color, but then I put on my eye and it's pink looking, and this doesn't do that. Like it still holds the base, but it does have that perfect kind of reflection of the pink, so it's a good mixture. It is a little bit more toppery. Okay, so when I put it on top of that green part, the reflect of the pink does shine through more. That is very pretty. Okay, the next shade that I am really excited for is Cloud Canopy. This one is a little bit more of like a green that like has some more blues to it, and we're just gonna top that there. This one I feel like is super sparkly green. It has a little bit more blue tones. I feel like the green we used on here is more jewel toned green, which would be really pretty for like an emerald type of look. They're just also pretty. These shimmers are beautiful. I'm loving these shimmers. Finish up with an inner corner color. I guess we'll try Magical Mist because it does seem to be more toppery even though it looks deep in the pan. And I'm just gonna try and put that with my finger and see what happens. That's pretty. So I feel like even though it looks deep and intimidating, it's not deep. It can be used more of like a popping type of shade, at least on my skin tone. So that's nice because I was kind of worried that there wouldn't be more like highlighty shimmer type shade, and I feel like that one could be used as one, even though in the pan it looks pretty dark, but it's more of a toppery type of shade too. Okay, let's finish up our eye. Here is the finished look. Everything performed really nicely. I love the beautiful shifts in these shadows. The sparkles are so pretty, and I think the palette is worth it, honestly, just for these shimmers. The mattes are also very, very good. I just personally don't use like a ton of vibrant mattes on the daily basis. However, I will say that come Halloween last year, I was like looking for good neons, and I was like, I don't really have that many good bright neon shades. And so if you are looking to do something fun for Halloween with like bright colors, I'm saying if you're normally like a neutral gal and you don't really like to use brights on a daily basis, I think that this would also be good for that. I'm really excited to test and play with the brighter colors. I think one day I'm gonna have to try and do a 2 looks 1 palette, because I really want to play with the purples and the bright coral color. There's just a lot I want to do. I just wanted to keep it a little bit more tame today, but I think that this will be beautiful. I think you can incorporate for fall because you have these grungy, beautiful greens. There's a lot of greens in this palette with pops of some very bright colors. Obviously for summer, you really got some bright colors going on, and it would be great for that too. The quality of this palette is great. If this is your color scheme, I would say go ahead and get it. Or if you're just into the shimmers, then again, they're only $5 each and they're very beautiful, and I would highly recommend those as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned to see what other videos I have time to come out with next, and I hope to see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.